take to the floor, him being the person or the senator who actually brought this matter before the House. Now, Honorable Eddie and also to all honorable senators, let us avoid speeches. Straight to the question that you wish to get responses. Let's avoid speeches so that we avoid wasting a lot of time. And Honorable CS with your team, if you get an opportunity to respond, please keep it concise, straight to the point also, so that we save on time. Honorable Eddie, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a request for a statement on the unfortunate death of Albert Omondi Ojwang while under police custody. Mr. Speaker, sir, once again, I do rise, pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1, to seek a statement from the Committee of National Security, which now has informed this, on a matter of national concern regarding the tragic death of Mr. Albert Omondi Ojwang, who is a resident of both Migori and Homa Bay counties under police custody. And Mr. Speaker, sir, desirably so, in this statement, Mr. Speaker, I noticed that the death of Mr. Ojwang has caused widespread grief and outrage within the country. And Mr. Speaker, the late Mr. Ojwang sustained fatal head injuries while in police custody at the Central Police Station in Nairobi, following his arrest by police officers in Homa Bay County, raising serious concerns and questions about police brutality, abuse of authority, and the lack of immediate accountability by the responsible officers. Mr. Speaker, therefore, in this committee, the following should be addressed. The circumstances that led to the death of Mr. Albert Omondi Ojwang, including a detailed account of the events surrounding his fatal injury. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, we would wish to know actions taken by the National Police Service and the Independent Police Oversight Authority, IPOA, to investigate the incident, including whether any officers involved have been interdicted or subjected to disciplinary or criminal proceedings. And, Mr. Speaker, we would also wish to know the measures the Ministry of Interior and the National Police Service are implementing to prevent police brutality and ensure accountability, particularly in handling civilians during law enforcement operations. And Mr. Speaker, two specific elements of this, if you allow me, is in this sitting, we want to be very clear on who in the eye of the minister and or the CS, who in the eye of the IG are the suspects in this matter, so that in an issue of murder that has ensued, we've seen when our colleague died here, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Ngondo Were, may his soul rest in peace. Mr. Speaker, the people who were termed as suspects were put in custody, and then even if investigation were going on, they did statements while in custody. Why is this different? That's a question that must be answered. And then the last one, Mr. Speaker, the IG of police informed the nation that the young man who has died, Albert, hit his head on the wall, which therefore suggested that he killed himself. It is important for this House to know and the country to know from him, where did he get this information And now that the autopsy has been conducted that says the contrary, what has the minister done in terms of taking responsibility on those two accounts? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, you may now proceed. If there's some aspects that you need your team to also take to the stand, you may allow them. You may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am here today pursuant to your invitation to appear before this House to address this very serious matter of the death of Mr. Albert Ojwang. Mr. Speaker, the tragic death of Mr. Albert Ojwang while in police custody has deeply pained the conscience of our nation. Parents have lost their only child, and I acknowledge this not as an isolated issue, because one life lost, Mr. Speaker, is under such circumstances like Ojwang is a life too many. Mr. Speaker, I am, as a parent, as a citizen of this republic, and as the person with the responsibility of presiding over this important ministry of government, Mr. Speaker, it is regrettable that such an act happened in our nation, particularly in the hands of the police officers. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to send my personal condolences to the family of Mr. Albert Ojwang, to his father, to his mother, to the wife, to the only child, Mr. Speaker, and the entire family, and to promise them that, Mr. Speaker, as a government official, I will cooperate, I will put every effort within my ministry to ensure that justice is served to this family, and, Mr. Speaker, that those who were involved in this action, Mr. Speaker, will be punished severely so that it becomes an example that, Mr. Speaker, such an act should not happen within a police custody. Mr. Speaker, I know this is not an isolated issue. The issue of police brutality has been part of our national discourse for far too long. Mr. Speaker, yesterday there was no mechanism for holding police officers accountable. But, Mr. Speaker, a few years ago, with the enactment of the new constitution and the establishment of institutions of accountability, Mr. Speaker, we now have a mechanism of holding police officers into account. And that's why, Mr. Speaker, courtesy of that legal framework and the people of Kenya under their constitution, Mr. Speaker, a number of police officers who have performed, who, Mr. Speaker, have committed such heinous acts have been held into account. And, Mr. Speaker, we all remember that in 2013, there was the case, Mr. Speaker, of Mr. Martin Kome, who was killed in the same manner like Mr. Albert Ojwang. And, Mr. Speaker, he was brought, the suspect was brought to justice because of this process of accountability. We know that there is a process of accountability on the case of Baby Pendo. We also know, Mr. Speaker, that the murder of my friend Wakili Kimani in 2016, again, those who performed that act were brought to justice, Mr. Speaker. I want to promise the family of Mr. Albert Ojwang, the people of Kenya, and this august House, that, Mr. Speaker, every effort will be put, Mr. Speaker, every resource that is required, where the ministry is required to provide resources, Mr. Speaker, for these investigations, and any support the investigators will require, we will do our best to make sure that, Mr. Speaker, justice is served to this family. Mr. Speaker, I want to bring to the attention of this House of Article 245 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, the 245(4) of the Constitution is very clear, Mr. Speaker, that the Cabinet Secretary responsible for police service, which in this situation is myself, Mr. Speaker, may lawfully give direction to the Inspector General with respect to any matter of policy for the National Police Service. Mr. Speaker, as a result of this provision, we have enough legal framework, we have policy framework, Mr. Speaker, that as the police service are under proper guidance, Mr. Speaker, to make sure that this issue of police brutality is dealt with. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to read the proviso, Mr. Speaker, to that very important provision that Mr. Speaker, in respect, but no person, including the CS, may give direction to the Inspector General with respect to investigation of any particular offense or offenses. Mr. Speaker, the enforcement of the law against any particular person or persons. And 3, Mr. Speaker, the employment, assignment, promotion, suspension, of dismissal of any member of National Police Service. Mr. Speaker, we all know that because of our robust constitutional order, the independence of institutions is an extremely important value in our Constitution. And as a result, Mr. Speaker, to insulate the National Police Service from interference from the executive, even the President, Mr. Speaker, is barred from giving directions to Inspector General of Police in regard to any investigations that are going on in a particular matter. So my position, Mr. Speaker, is confined in law to the place where I give either policy directions that must be put in writing under Article 245 of the Constitution, and, Mr. Speaker, also to provide support, financial support, Mr. Speaker, and other resources that the Parliament, Mr. Speaker, has also the responsibility to provide these resources through the relevant institutions. So I sympathize with the position of Honorable Eddie. Mr. Speaker, I agree with him that something has to be done. But, Mr. Speaker, he has asked a very pertinent question as to who is the culpable person through my eyes. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, the Constitution did not give me the eyes to see who is culpable. Those eyes have been given to the investigatory authorities under 245 of the Constitution, and that is why you rightly invited me, but also invited the independent institutions, Mr. Speaker. I'm confident, and this is the promise I give to the people of Kenya, that we will do everything within the ministry to ensure that there is no interference, there is no shielding of any individual, there is no cover-up, Mr. Speaker, from the part of the executive, and that, Mr. Speaker, that the Inspector General of the Police and the Independent Police Oversight Authority, which again, Mr. Speaker, in Article Section 4 of the IPOA Act, have been given independence, Mr. Speaker, in all matters of investigation regarding matters related to police brutality and police, Mr. Speaker, crimes committed by police officers. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, should questions arise that touch on policy issues, that touch on the ministry's policy contribution, Mr. Speaker, I am more than happy to respond. But I am glad to note that, Mr. Speaker, we have with us the Inspector General of Police, who exercises that independent authority, Mr. Speaker. We have here with the IPOA, and, Mr. Speaker, we have agreed, Mr. Speaker, that the Inspector General of Police is going to therefore delve into the matter itself of what really happened so that this House can get the proper information. And then as a Cabinet Secretary, I will continue with my oversight responsibilities from the ministry side with policy directions and to respond to this House on those issues that are policy in nature. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, therefore, I would like to invite the Inspector General of Police to first give us really an account of what really happened. And, Mr. Speaker, let it be known, not just to this House, but to the country, that in the same manner that this House is demanding accountability, is the same manner I demand accountability from the Inspector General of Police, not to myself, but to the people of Kenya through this office, because this is the office of the CS that in most cases comes to this House and many forums to respond to the issues that are happening in the Inspector General's office. The same way many of you received the news of the death of Mr. Albert Ojwang is the same way I received with a lot of pain, Mr. Speaker. And I would never want this issue to continue because I sat, Mr. Speaker, where Senator Cheruiyot, Majority Leader, sits. And I sat behind there, Mr. Speaker, where Senator Chuto sits in the last Parliament. And, Mr. Speaker, there were cases of police brutality, including of arresting our colleagues in this House. My name and my report is on the record of this House, in the hands of this House, really advocating for good behavior among the police officers. And I think, Mr. Speaker, even as we push it from the executive, I expect the same support from this House as we push on
Order,
the police side.
Honourable Senators.
Mr.
May
Speaker,
the CS be heard in silence.
Conclude,
Honourable CS.
This accountability, Mr. Speaker, is not negotiable. It is not debatable. Mr. Speaker, we expect every national police officer who was involved in this matter to be brought to justice expeditiously. Mr. Speaker, may I now invite the IG to make a statement.
Senators will have an opportunity to speak. Allow Senator Sifuna, you cannot tell me no. You are trading on very dangerous ground, Senator Sifuna. Allow the IG, all the senators, you'll have an opportunity to speak. Allow the IG to take to the floor. IG, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. I'm here before this House courtesy of the invite that was done yesterday to address the...
Honorable Senators, the minority leader and the majority leader approach the chair. Senator Sifuna, do not approach the chair. Minority leader and the majority leader to approach the chair. Order, honorable senators, please let us take our seats. Let's take our seats, honorable senators. Senator Boni, Senator Boni and Senator Fernandi. Okay, honorable senators, we can now proceed. So, honorable senators, we had the IG on his feet before we started the consultations. I'm happy the consultations are now over. The IG, you may now take the stand. Now, honorable senators, you will have an opportunity to ask questions to all these. So, IG, you may proceed, please. Senator Boni, just approach the chair. Order, honorable senators. Order, honorable senators. Order, honorable senators. Now, honorable senators, this matter has affected everybody. It did not affect just a single senator. It has affected everybody. Everybody is in pain. So let us not try to show the world that it is only an individual in this chamber that is in pain. Honorable senators, the CS has made his opening statement. He'll be open to interrogation by honorable senators. Now, we may elect to pursue this matter in these two options. Having given his statement, his opening statement, we interrogate him and dispense with him. Senator Sifuna, Senator
But away from that, the National Assembly will be resuming debate.
Hold kidogo. Wako hapa eh? Podium uko naye? Sawa. Okay.
Senator Boni, take your seat. Now, honorable senators, as you may recall, the Senate Majority Leader moved a motion to suspend the morning plenary sitting to facilitate a special session between the Senate and the Cabinet Secretary Ministry of Interior and National Administration, the Inspector General of Police, the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, and the National Police Service Commission. The Director of Criminal Investigations also accompanied the Cabinet Secretary. Now, following a request for a statement by the Senator from Migori County, the Honorable Senator Eddie Okech, MP, regarding the death of Mr. Albert Omondi Ojwang, the following made statements to the Senate on oath on the matter. The Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Interior and National Administration, Mr. Douglas Kanja, MGH, EBS, OGW, Inspector General of Police, and Mr. Edwin Kiprono Chelugetis, Vice Chairperson, National Police Service Commission. Mr. Mohammed Amin, EBS, Directorate of Criminal Investigations, and Ms. Ann Wanjiku Mwangi, Vice Chairperson, Independent Policing Oversight Authority. The Honorable Senators, following the statements by the office holders referred above, I allowed Honorable Senators to make comments and seek clarifications on the matter. This continued until 1 o'clock, the time ordinarily appointed for the adjournment of a morning sitting on Wednesday. At the time of adjournment, 16 senators had sought clarification, but still my dashboard was full with senators who wanted to make interventions on the matter. I therefore directed that the proceedings will continue during the afternoon sitting at 2:30 p.m. to facilitate the Senate to exhaustively interrogate this matter. At an appropriate time, therefore, in this sitting, I will allow the Senate Majority Leader to move a motion for the temporary suspension of normal proceedings pursuant to Standing Order 38 for the session with the Cabinet Secretary and his team to continue. Upon approval of the motion, I shall allow the Cabinet Secretary and his team to respond to the issues sought before allowing other interventions from the senators, giving priority to those who have not spoken. Honorable Senators, during the session with the Cabinet Secretary and his team, the rules will have been relaxed. However, it is important to uphold decorum and decency in these proceedings. The Cabinet Secretary and his team are reminded that they are still under oath. Senate Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order number 38(1), I move that the Senate do suspend its proceedings in order to allow senators to efficiently interrogate the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration, the Inspector General of Police, and the chairpersons of the Independent Police Oversight Authority and that of the National Police Service Commission regarding the safety and well-being of arrested persons in Kenya while in police custody, and in particular, the circumstances surrounding the death of one Albert Omondi Ojwang. Mr. Speaker, as the House will recall, this is a similar motion that was moved this morning, and the reasons and justifications that were advanced in the morning still stand true now. And for this reason, I don't want to go beyond this. I urge members to vote to support. This is a unique opportunity, and I want to thank the House. We've conducted ourselves very well this morning, and I want to thank the Speaker. You have presided over the proceedings as expected. I move and request the Leader of the Minority, Justice Mathayo, to second my motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I fully support the move of this motion. My brother, Dr. Boni Khalwale, and therefore second the motion. Thank you.
Honorable Senators, I will now propose the question that pursuant to Standing Order 38(1), the Senate do suspend its proceedings in order to allow senators to efficiently interrogate the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration, the Inspector General of Police, and the chairpersons of the Independent Policing Oversight Authority and that of the National Police Service Commission regarding the safety and well-being of arrested persons in police custody, and in particular the circumstances surrounding the death of Albert Ojwang. Now, the floor is open for debate. However, honorable senators, this being a procedural motion, with your concurrence, you may allow me to put the question so that we dispense with it. I will therefore proceed to put the question that pursuant to the Standing Order 38.1, the Senate do suspend its proceedings in order to allow senators to efficiently interrogate the Cabinet Secretary for Interior National Administration, the Inspector General of Police, and the chairpersons of the Independent Policing Oversight Authority and that of the National Police Service Commission regarding the safety and well-being of arrested persons in police custody, and in particular the circumstances surrounding the death of Albert Ojwang. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Now, honorable senators, pursuant to Standing Order 38, just take your seat, Senator Fernandez. 38.5, I will allocate the time. I will give this up to close of business today so that we conclude this matter. We don't have to leave other members of this House feeling having been left out. Clerk, Sergeant at Arms, kindly usher in the witnesses, please. Honorable CS and your team, welcome back to the Senate. Now, honorable senators, just like I stated in my communication, we are going to allow the CS and his team to respond to the questions that have already been posed. Thereafter, we'll take a second round of questions. So, honorable CS, you have the floor. All the questions that have been directed to you, you may proceed to respond to them. Thereafter, the IG will follow. After the IG will hear responses from IPOA. After IPOA, we will hear from the National Police Service Commission. And lastly, we'll hear DCI. You may proceed, Honorable CS.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First of all, let me appreciate all the members for the questions they've raised, but also for suggestions they've given on areas of improvement, particularly in terms of law and operation of the National Police Service. Mr. Speaker, we have taken note, but also we will benefit from the Hansard so that we can be able to make sure that all, especially the policy and regulatory suggestions, Mr. Speaker, are going to be taken into consideration. Mr. Speaker, I understood this assignment. First of all, let me say this. I came here today not because I was called, not because I saw any letter, maybe it was sent from your office. I just saw you live, Mr. Speaker, yesterday. And once you announced live that you will need the minister from here, I did not even take 5 minutes. I called the IG. And I told the IG and the chair of IPOA that we must go to Senate. So, Mr. Speaker, I am very grateful that there is a forum like this for us to be held into account. And like many colleagues have said here, that the same exercise I used to do before to hold others into account, Mr. Speaker, I must also abide by the same process to be held into account. So, Mr. Speaker, I respect the authority of this House. Mr. Speaker, I also want to correct an impression that may have been created by my statement. Remember that Senator Eddy, when he rose, he said, Mr. Speaker, he wanted the Cabinet Secretary to shed light on what I saw with my eyes as the possible persons culpable insofar as the murder of Mr. Albert Ojwang is concerned. Mr. Speaker, I must say this, that it is that led me to Article 245 of the Constitution. And Mr. Speaker, most people may have misconstrued to mean that the Cabinet Secretary does not have the responsibility to oversight the National Police Service in the work they do, whether it is in excesses of police officers or in other policy issues. Mr. Speaker, that's far from the truth. I confined myself, Mr. Speaker, I zeroed in on Article 245, subsection 4, Mr. Speaker, for purpose of the investigation, specific investigation touching on this particular gentleman. Mr. Speaker, it will be a violation of our Constitution if, as a Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Speaker, I would now arrogate myself a responsibility contrary to Article 245(4) of the Constitution, where when an investigation is done, if it is suspected that a senator has committed an offense, and as a Cabinet Secretary starts saying, I call the IG and tell IG, go arrest so-and-so, investigate so-and-so, charge so-and-so, it is the people of Kenya under Article 245 of the Constitution wanted to remove the possibility of any person, not just the Cabinet Secretary, a senator, a president, and any other person would direct investigations into any matter outside the authority of the National Police Service and the Inspector General himself. That is why the only exception given, Mr. Speaker, is the office of the DPP, who can give directions to the IG to carry out investigations. So I want to correct that impression. It doesn't mean that I don't have an eye to make sure that there's a policy framework where police brutality must be dealt with in the country, that we must deal with issues related to Mr. Speaker, that we must deal with issues, Mr. Speaker, that are related to extrajudicial killings, among others. That is a responsibility that not just the Cabinet Secretary, but also the National Security Council, as everybody has said here, carries out an oversight responsibility on that matter. I want to correct that impression because I saw everybody was riding on that particular section of Article 245. And if I may read again, Mr. Speaker, it says that no person may give a direction to the Inspector General with respect to the investigation of any particular offences or offenses, the enforcement of the law against any particular person or persons. But enforcement of the law generally, I can give directions policy-wise. Investigations generally to acts or resurgence of certain acts or omissions, Mr. Speaker, or offenses, Mr. Speaker, I can be able to give that direction. But I cannot wake up here and say, Senator Eddie be investigated, or Senator so-and-so. That is what Kenyans were running away from. Number two, Mr. Speaker, is to say that it is also not right for me, under the same article, to give direction as to the employment, assignment, promotion, suspension, or dismissal of any person who works in the National Police Service. Again, the people of Kenya wanted to remove a situation where political leaders, including the Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Speaker, would use their position to determine whether a police officer will be transferred, will be promoted, will be fired, will be hired. Mr. Speaker, that was the intention of the people of Kenya, to insulate the National Police Service and to make sure that it's an independent institution. But that does not mean that under policy direction, we cannot tell the Inspector General that any person who is found committing an offense must be removed. That is a policy direction, but not to superintend upon the rules of the IG by picking on specific officers to say, arrest this or leave this other person. If that clarity is achieved, Mr. Speaker, then Mr. Speaker, the problem that people had, including Senator Kalwale, on the question of I do not have an eye. I do not have an eye constitutionally of superintending upon specific investigations, but I have an eye of ensuring that the National Police Service operate under the Constitution and the law, Mr. Speaker. I needed to make sure that I clear that issue. On the other issues, Mr. Speaker, I saw my friend Senator Kalwale had said, Mr. Speaker, because of that Article 245 of the Constitution, therefore, Mr. Speaker, I should abdicate my responsibility. Mr. Speaker, like has been said by many senators here, Senator Ojwang, Senator Kio, Mr. Speaker, on my position, and they have said what I did when I was in this House. My position has never changed, Mr. Speaker. I am, as like the Caleb in the Bible said, I am as strong as I was 5 years ago. Mr. Speaker, my position on the issues of brutality, my position, Mr. Speaker, on anything extrajudicial killings, my position, Mr. Speaker, on matters abductions remain the same position I had in this office, in this Senate. Mr. Speaker, let me say how. Mr. Speaker, when I go to office, I made sure that on the question, and you know, some people speak as though I've been in this office for 6 months. Mr. Speaker, I'm not yet even 6 months since I joined this office. But I'm glad that many people have expectation in me. I know even of a particular senator, Mr. Speaker, who never even waited for 2 months, whose national chorus is Murkomen must resign, Murkomen must be fired. Mr. Speaker, even when I was 2 months to the office, that was the song he was singing. Mr. Speaker, I am used to that song. But the point I want to make is that as a cabinet secretary, Mr. Speaker, when I go to office, I know, Mr. Speaker, for sure that there were challenges in our National Police Service. Mr. Speaker, in any case, the statement you have asked me to come and answer today, if it were not for the issue of Albert Ojwang, is in relation to last year's unfortunate incidents that happened on 25th of June. Mr. Speaker, where a number of cases are under investigations. Mr. Speaker, a few years ago, the question of Baby Pendo. Mr. Speaker, a few years ago, the question of Koome. Mr. Speaker, I disclose here that lawyer Kimani was my friend. I knew him. Mr. Speaker, in all those investigations, Mr. Speaker, the Independent Police Oversight Authority did their job. Even as Senator Metu was saying, there might be a cover-up. In the case of Senator Kimani, because I follow, Wakili Kimani, in that particular case, Mr. Speaker, there was an attempt to cover up. But, Mr. Speaker, because of the